Hey, welcome back. We shall continue where we left off. So, we just came back to Kokoro finding herself to be in her own body again, and she realized that she was in Satoru's. But now she's in her own body, and I don't understand. Oh, and as for the tips, I was gonna read them after every chapter, or route, I guess I meant to say. But, what's the harm in actually reading them right when they're revealed, right? So, where's the one that I missed? Personal space. Self-explanatory. The region surrounding each person, or the area which a person considers their domain or territory. Often, when someone enters the range of your personal space, you will begin to feel uneasy or uncomfortable. While it is highly variable and difficult to measure accurately, the best estimates for a personal physical place is around 60 centimeters to either side, 7 centimeters in front, and 40 centimeters behind the body for the average Westerner. Okay, sure. Okay. Now back to the story at hand. I felt dazed. My head was cloudy. However, I could clearly understand that the image reflected in that window pane was my own. It's the same face I've had for 20 years now. There's no way I could be mistaken. As soon as I realized that, the haze in my head immediately disappeared. I looked down, checked my clothes, looked at my palms, and stared at the backs of my hands for a few moments. The fingers of both my hands traced the contours of my face, felt the texture of my skin, and ran through my hair, checking its length on their way through. It sprang up and down. There were dull pains in my neck and hip, but it wasn't all that bad compared to the pain I had felt before. I stretched my arms out as wide as I can. I take a series of deep breaths, and I started speaking out loud.
そっか、夢だったんだ!
Even though it was just a dream, I somehow felt really happy to be back in my own body again. I cast another glance at my reflection, then turned my head. Oh, you people. Before me were the figures of an unfamiliar man and woman. The words I blurted in surprise hung in the silent air. I suddenly felt very awkward and gave a slight shrug. The source of the awkwardness was the words that had come out of my mouth earlier. I didn't stop to think that I might not be the only person in the room. Mumbling these meaningless words, I tried fruitlessly to relieve the tension of the moment, while at the same time attempting to analyze the situation I found myself in. First of all, where am I? As I took a look around, I could see that everything, including the roof, the floor, and the walls, was made of wood. From where I stood, I could see a double bunk bed to the right and a doorway to the left. Near the wall across the room stood a wooden table, along with a few simple chairs made from chopped logs. By the wall beside me was a rustic stove made of old oil barrels. I could hear a crackling sound, most probably produced by the red-hot logs burning inside the stove. Cumulus clouds of white steam rose from the tin kettle placed upon the stove. Considering how large the double bunk bed was, that floor of the room would have probably fit 12 tatami mats. It may have actually been one tatami larger, but the window embedded in the wall was so tiny it made the room feel rather cramped. A mounting hut? I couldn't think of any possibilities. I looked out the window to make sure. There was only featureless, depthless darkness spread out as far as the eye could see. There wasn't anything that could provide me with a clue, so it must be nighttime. It wasn't that I couldn't see anything. Snow. My eyes were searching the scenery for more clues, but all they could see was the powdery snow dancing violently in the frozen darkness like pampas grass in the wind. Crystals of ice decorated the edges of the window. These scant clues didn't give me any idea where we were, but this was definitely no Southern Island paradise. Then it hit me. The cold. And it wasn't just your average cold. My body was freezing to its core, enough to make me want to hug the barrel stove beside me. The voice made me turn around. The man looked worried as he watched over me. I'm alright, wasn't something I could honestly say. But suddenly seized by this freezing cold, with two completely unfamiliar people in front of me. Just who were these people? The man in front of me wore a hooded jacket. His short trimmed hair had casually fallen into disorder. There was a sparse amount of stubble growing around his mouth and chin, and his prominent cheekbones gave him a dauntless appearance. His body was in good shape. His figure was trim. That being said, by no means was he thin. The muscles on his shoulder and chest were toned to the degree that their contours were visible through his clothes. If anyone asked me, I'd have to say that he had an extremely manly, strong body. In contrast to this air of strength that his body gave off, his eyes seemed to be doing a poor job of hiding his overwhelming sadness. The woman was crouching in front of the stove, wrapped up in many layers of blankets like an empress in her robes. Her hands grasped a steel cup. Her eyes were not on me, but staring aimlessly at the contents of the cup. However, it didn't seem as if she was avoiding eye contact intentionally. Her garments were covered by blankets, so I couldn't tell what she was wearing underneath. I could only see her dark brown high heels. The shoes weren't well suited for a place like this, and her shoes weren't all that looked out of place. The woman, with her hair in an updo, gave off an air of calm sophistication. Would it be an exaggeration to say that she was from high society? Surrounded by the drum stove, the tin kettle, and the assorted timber, her appearance was particularly conspicuous. The man looked as if he was in his mid-30s, while the woman appeared to be in her late 20s. Of course, that was just my estimate. They could have been younger. Anyway, I thought it was clear that both of them were older than me. First off, I want to talk to the man. Try talking to the man.
すみません。
What should I ask him? Who are you? Where are we? I'm more curious about their surroundings.
ここはどこですか？
山だ。
Like Kokoro said.
山？
そう。真冬の雪山だ。
He answered somewhat casually.
真冬の雪山って言ってもいろいろとあると思うんですけど。
そうだね。東北地方のどこかじゃないかな。
Might be. He stroked his stubble. I held myself tight as I trembled from the cold and meekly stepped toward the
も
stove.
しかして知らないんですか？ここがどこなのか。
ああ、知らない。
Oh, so nobody knows.
こっちの方が教えてもらいたいぐらいさ。
Oh, interesting. What did he mean by that? There's no way I could possibly figure out where we were. I just waited for him to go
それよ
on.
りも大丈夫か？
大丈夫って。
いや、なんというか、こんなことを言っては失礼かもしれないが、君の様子は。
He raised one of his eyebrows, drawing my eye momentarily, before continuing.
普通じゃない。
え？
怒らないでくれよ。君はさっきからずっと挙動不審な言動を続けている。
That is true.
突然、わけのわからない言葉を発したり、暴れたり、叫んだり、独り言をぽつりとこぼしたり。
Acting violently? Could that be Sato?
かと思うと、今度は不意に塩らしい素振りを見せたりして。
Oh, that could have been Sato. Ah.
まあ、あの時の衝撃で精神的に相当なダメージを受けたのだとは思う。
But, okay, was this 2 accidents? Or what?
あの時？
そうだ。飛行機が墜落した時のことだよ。
Strange. Crash, did I already forget what happened up until now? Reality and dreams were completely mixed up in my head as I tried hard to make sense of things. So that means the building and the people I saw before must have been all part of a dream. This is where I'm super confused. Wasn't it one crash? Ugh. Then the crash. What happened to the other passengers? Was Uni saved? Yeah, wasn't the crash with Uni? Wasn't Kokoro with Uni? And then they crashed? And then, but Uni was at that other place. But he's not in it. Well, I don't know if he's in this place or something. He might be. And then that'll add to my confusion even more. If he is. Although I couldn't be sure and felt a tinge of uneasiness, for some reason, I wasn't really all that worried. Though I was still in a rather strange state of mind, I was definitely much calmer than the me in that dream. There was a mysterious feeling of confidence in me. A feeling that Uni was definitely alive
や
somewhere.
はりそうか。 君は墜落の時のことを覚えていないんだね。
いえ、そんなことありません。ちゃんと覚えてますよ。
Oops. I replied immediately. Surprised, he tilted his
覚え
head.
てる？本当に？
ええ。
だけど君はさっきまあいいか。とにかく座りなさい。何か温かいものでも飲むか。かなり長い間意識を失ってたからね。喉も渇いてるだろう。
He went over to the table and picked up a steel cup. With one hand, he gestured me to take a seat. I passed behind the woman who was wrapped up in blankets and sat down on the table with my back to the wall.
どういうことですか？
何が？
The man stood near the stove. He grabbed the tin kettle and poured some hot water into the cup.
私のこと挙動不審だって言ったじゃないですか。
言ったね。仕方がないだろう。事実なんだから。
そういうことじゃないんです。理由を聞いてるんですよ、私は。
理由か。説明してあげてもいいが、その前にまずはこれを飲みなさい。
He placed the cup in front of me. I took a peek inside the cup and saw a reddish-orange liquid swaying lazily
何
within.
ですか？
カモミールティーだよ。
Ooh, that's my favorite.
倉庫で見つけたやつだから賞味期限の保証はできないけどね。
He glanced briefly at the corner of the room. It was an open rectangular latch. The hole was right next to the door. There was a ladder there. Couldn't see inside from here, but that was most likely the storeroom right below us.
カモミールには鎮静作用があるんだ。
なるほど。要するに気持ちを落ち着けろと。
ま、そういうことだね。
I wasn't particularly agitated or excited at anything. It was true that my throat was dry, so there was no reason to refuse the offer. Just as he had suggested, I brought the cup to my lips.
でも、美味しいかも。
Yeah. A refreshingly gentle aroma similar to that of a green apple tickled my nose. The hot liquid made its way down my throat, gently warming me to the core of my body. I'm alive again, would be the expression that described the way I felt best.
よかった。その笑顔のことだよ。笑った君を見たのは初めてだからね。
Now that you mention it, my face did feel like it was smiling. It was a little embarrassing. The steam rising from the cup slipped into my nose as I started talking.
そういえば、まだ名前伺ってませんでしたよね。
名前？
ええ、あなたの名前です。
He sat down at the table across from me.
おいおい、参ったな。さっき教えたばかりだろう。
さっき？
Just now? When exactly was just now? I have no idea.
まあ、忘れてしまったとしても無理もないか。相当気が動転してるみたいだったからね。
I didn't know what he meant by that. What in the world was he talking about? As I struggled to wrap my head around what he just said, the man reached into his jacket pocket and took out a pack of cigarettes, along with a silver lighter. He tapped a cigarette out of the pack and placed it in his mouth. He handled the lighter incredibly naturally, snapping it open with ease. After the crisp metallic sound faded, a red flame softly flickered into being, carrying the flame close to the tip of the cigarette. He exhaled in a puff of purple smoke.
よもぎ正義だ。よろしくな。
He placed the cigarette in his left hand and extended the other to meet me in a greeting. I gladly shook it. His palm was so thick and rugged, it was as if it was made of rock. And then... What was that? Suddenly a loud noise. Acting on instinct, I pulled my hand back defensively.
おい！どうしたんだ？大丈夫か？
Oh, someone's down there? The man who had introduced himself as Yomagi shouted into the corner of the room. There in the corner was the square hole I had seen just a few moments ago.
Ah! 大丈夫!
A little kid?
ちょっと手滑らせちゃっただけだから。
A voice could be heard coming from inside the hole. A familiar voice. Oh gosh, it's Uni. Oh wow. Yep, time to confuse myself even further. It couldn't be. I shot up from my
なんだ？
seat.
また例の発作じゃないだろう。
Episodes. I didn't have any time to answer. Before I could even think, my body had sprung into action. Clinging to the ladder, I glided down along it and descended to the basement.
Uni!
Gosh. What the heck? Ugh. I don't know. And also too, I kinda had a weird feeling that he was gonna show up here too. Ugh. I don't know, I just had a strange feeling he was gonna show up. For some reason. Ugh. My premonition had been right, as I thought Uni was alive. He looked at me vacantly. There can't be two Unis, so what's the Uni over there? Oh. Dozens of logs for the stove were scattered at his feet.
どうしたの?
He asked me with a surprisingly calm face. I slowly moved toward him. I stopped in front of him. Standing stiff as a rod, he looked up at me.
心
Aww.
心なの?
His pupils widened as he blinked, muttering those
ユ
words.
ニ僕のこと覚えててくれたんだね。当たり前でしょ。忘れるわけないじゃない。
Filled with joy, I embraced him tightly without a second thought.
待った。このままだと壊れちゃうかもしれないから。
Saying that, Uni slowly removed his glasses. He placed his glasses on the shelf and then... Suddenly, with a voice as lovely as a girl's, he leaped into my arms.
会いたかったよ。会いたかったよ、心。
Uni aimlessly groped at my back. He rubbed his face against me, snuffing like a spoiled child. I cradled him closely in return. With all the strength in my arms, I squeezed him tighter and tighter. This is the second time I've been reunited with this boy. But unlike that Uni from my dream, this one wasn't cold-hearted at all. Uni had recognized me as myself. He greeted me as myself and confirmed me as myself. Just that was enough to make me feel very happy.
心僕言わなくちゃいけないことがあるんだ。何？助けてくれてありがとう。もうお礼なんて言わなくていいって。私は何もしてないもん。
Yes, I couldn't do anything at that time. I had only fastened his seatbelt and taken his hand in mine. If there was anyone to thank for our rescue, it could only be God. Rather than fate, it seemed more appropriate to call this a miracle from
でも
God.
とにかくありがとう。
I clung to Uni's body as though I never let him go. I put his head under my nose and filled my lungs with his scent. We're alive. The smell of his hair, the burning warmth of his skin. Alive. Alive. Over and over again, I repeated it in my mind. I trembled in joy as I stood witness to this miracle. After a while, I realized that my cheeks were wet. The small drops clinging to my lips were warmer than the caramel tea I had just drunk. Aww. We stayed in our embrace for quite a while, long enough to lose track of time. Right then, my mind was completely void of the memories from my strange dream, with its grotesque script and finely detailed scenery. I don't think that was a dream, Kokoro. But still, there was one thing bothering me. Oh gosh, I wanted to know why Uni was here. What Uni had said bothered me. I wanted to know why Uni was here. No. What he said.
会いたかったよ。
Yeah. Well, yeah.
会いたかったよ、心。
The words that had come from Uni's lips, it was as though something fell out of place. Yeah, I felt that too. A suspicious feeling of dissatisfaction stirred my mind. But even so, something as trifling as that didn't matter much now. With the end of the hug nowhere in sight, the little doubt that had sprouted in the corner of my mind slowly faded away. I had forgotten everything, became intoxicated with its warmth, as I continued to soak in the happiness of our reunion. I'm left-handed. When I use a pen, chopsticks, or scissors, I always hold them in my left hand. That's why I wear my watch on my non-dominant right wrist. That's because if I wore it on my left wrist, it would interfere with a variety of things. Of course, it's on my right wrist even now. It was a wristwatch I had fancied and bought just the other day. The analog dial indicated that it was 9:37. The animus within the anima. The inside of the room was enveloped by the sad cry of the wind wailing outside. Other than that, besides the lid of the kettle rattling, not a sound could be heard. Not a single person opened their mouth. The heavy silence persisted. The cup placed in front of me was already empty. The caramel tea had truly warmed my body and calmed my heart. I'd also gotten used to the feeling of sitting on hard wooden logs. I put my back up against the wall and observed the others. Uni was sitting on a bunk bed, dangling his legs. His face showed boredom, but even like this, he was far more energetic than the Uni from my dream. Yomugi had fixed his gaze on the window, observing the conditions outside. Smoke was slowly rising from the cigarette he held leisurely between his middle and index fingers. The woman, who was wrapped up in numerous blankets, had moved an inch from her spot in front of the stove. She flicked a stray lock of hair behind her ear. There was a lovely elegance to her actions, which, even though I was a woman, drew my eyes with its coquettish charm. Even after being thrown here in such a disordered state, she still took great care in keeping herself proper, from the angle of her fingers to the tilt of her neck. There were 4 of us inside the cabin, including myself. There was also one thing that all 4 of us had in common, and that was that we were all unhurt. Of course, you could probably easily find 1 or 2 scratches or bruises in our bodies. However, no one had any serious injuries. Our bones were fine and all our insides seemed to be in place. It's not like I asked anyone directly. That much was obvious from just observing the people around me. I don't remember a single thing about the crash, but I do know that the shock from it had to be tremendous. Yet, here we are, alive and well. As I thought about it all, I couldn't help but think of the word miracle as well. Miracle. What a wonder it was that we were all alive here like this. This room didn't have any electric lighting. Only the light of the lantern served to illuminate the hopeless air around us. The flame with it wavered, causing the shadows in the room to dance and sway along with it. Somehow it was a very illusory scene. Enchanted by the dubious flicker of the flame, I began to lose sight of the boundary between reality and fantasy. If this silence continued, I felt like I would once again be consumed by the bizarre dream world. Anyway, it doesn't matter what it is, so somebody, say something. So resolved, I decided to first... Well, we don't know much about the woman wrapped in the blanket, so let's ask for her name. I tried speaking with the woman wrapped up in the blankets. Silence. There was no reason she wouldn't be able to hear me. I was simply being ignored again. She had been so thoroughly ignoring me that I began to feel as if she was doing it out of some sort of hostility toward me. Did I do something to leave her with a bad impression of me, perhaps? No, I don't remember doing anything like that. I just met her recently, and we hadn't even exchanged a single word. Or, it was possible she was just the kind of person to begin with. It might be that she wasn't really a people person, or something like that. With nothing else to do, I started to talk to Yomugi.
ねえ、Yomugi-san。ここにいるのはこの4人で全部ですよね。
ああ、そうだけど。
それじゃあ、
Yomugi looked out the window and took a long drag on his cigarette. Slowly letting the smoke out, he wipes the white cloudy window.
そういえば、まだユキドさんには話してなかったね。
Oh, her name's Yukido. Yukido? Did I hear him wrong? An unfamiliar name suddenly entered my ears. Yomugi left the window and made his way to the center of the room. He took a square box from the shelf beside the bed.
もう一杯飲むだろう。長くなるからね。
He prepared the chamomile tea while holding his cigarette between his lips. He poured her some tea. He put out a cigarette in the ashtray sitting on the table, and then he sat down in front of me.
さあ、何から話そうか。ユキドさんはどこまで記憶があるんだっけ？さっきは確か墜落の時のことは全部覚えてるって。
Again he uses the name. Oh, Isn't that Sato's last name? Kinda forgot. I can't remember Japanese names. Oh.
どうした？なんでそんなしかめっ面してる？
Oh gosh. I am right. It was Sato who was freaking out. I started in my posture and began to talk, looking intently at him.
話の前に一つだけいいですか？
なんだ？
有機道って誰ですか？
誰ってそれはもちろん君のことだよ。
I was astonished. Sighing deeply, I could feel myself starting to shake. Why? Why were things like this happening one after another? I can't exactly say why I was angry, but there was no way I was just going to bite my tongue. I raised my voice in protest.
私の名前は冬川心です。
Really? I wonder how many times I would have to repeat myself like this. I'm tired of it already. Although the other times I said that phrase had been inside a dream.
冬川心？
そうです。冬川心です。学生証見せましょうか？それとも免許証の方がいいですか？なんだったら今すぐ区役所行って戸籍謄本取ってきてもいいですけど。
いや、すまん。怒らせてしまったみたいだね。だけど有機道というのはそもそも君は。
Yomigi hesitated to speak. His gaze wavered around the room as he rubbed the stubble on his chin.
まあいいか。君がそこまで言うんならおそらくそうなんだろう。
おそらくじゃなくてそうなんです。
わかった。わかったよ。君の名前は冬川心。間違いないね。
はい。
I clearly asserted. And then
待って、ちょっと待ってよ。
the woman who had persistently preserved her silence until now finally opens her mouth. Throwing off her blanket, she delicately stands up and walks purposely towards me.
あんたどういうつもり？
She slams both of her hands on the table. Bending forward, she brings her face up to mine. Her entire body gives off a ghastly aura, filling me with dread.
私の名前は冬川心？じゃあなんでさっきは有機道なんて言ったのよ。
I don't know what she's angry about, but the dreadful expression on her face leaves me unable to reply.
答えなさいよ。何企んでんのよあんた。
Plotting? Now this was a word I remember hearing. Somehow it feels almost like a reenactment of my dream. Saying, I'm Fuyukawa Kokoro, and having somebody get angry because of that. It did rather resemble a dream. Then, was that dream supposed to be some kind of premonition?
ねえ、ちょっと聞いてんの？人の話。
聞いてますよ。ちゃんと。
さっきとは随分態度が違うのね。
Before. When they say before, just what do these people mean?
もう一度だけ聞くけど、なんであんなバカなこと言ったわけ？
バカなことって。
とぼけないでよ。あんたが有機道悟の名前を語ったことに決まってるでしょ？
Yep.
だからその人は誰なんですか？
白々しい演技はやめて。
Act. Even though I'm not acting.
まあまあ、落ち着けよ、舞澄。冬川さんが怖がってるじゃないか。
あんた今なんて言った？眉澄。眉澄って言ったわよね。気安く呼び捨てになんかしないでくれる？何様のつもりなわけ？
じゃあ、なんて呼べばいいんだ？凛ちゃんか？
てめえ、なめてんだろこのヒゲ親父！私はちゃん付けで呼ばれるのが世界で一番嫌いなのよ。
だったら2番目に嫌いなのは
見ず知らずの他人に呼び捨てにされること。
3番目は
3番目はそうね、名前を間違って呼ばれることかしら。凛なのに鈴とか、眉澄なのに薫とか。そういえばいつだったかダイレクトメールにトンビって書いてあったこともあったわ。なんで我が家に届くわけ？人のこと勝手に猛禽類扱いしないでほしいわ。
トンビだって。いつか鷹が生まれるといいね。
うるさい！ガキはすっ込んでろ、ガキは！
わ、なんだよその言い方。ちょっと冗談言っただけなのにさ。
何よ、文句あんの？は
あ、これだからばあさんは困るよな。
Grannies. Uni had probably gotten angry, as he deliberately muttered the phrase at a volume just loud enough for it to be heard.
ばあさん ?23 歳の裏若き乙女を捕まえといて、ばあさんってどういうことよ、ばあさんって。
ばあさんだからばあさんって言ったんだよ。
てめえ。
ほら、目尻にカラスの足跡が浮かんでますよ、トビリンちゃん。
このクソガキ、やんのかこら。
やらねえよ。誰がお前みたいなババアとなんかやるもんか。
もう完全にブチ切れちゃったわ。つまきにして外に放り出してやろうかしら。
やれるもんならやってみろよ、干し柿ババア。
上等じゃないのよ、このイソギンチャクメガネ。
こら、いい加減にしないか、二人とも。
Yomiki's sick of watching their back and forth, decide to interfere and push the two
ここが
apart.
どこなのか忘れたわけじゃないだろう。こんなくだらないことで体力を消耗してどうする。でもはなしだ。これ以上続けるつもりなら倉庫で寝てもらうことになるぞ。いいのか。
Yomiki lectured them in a surprisingly dignified tone. The two exchanged sharp glares but restrained themselves from taking any further actions. Even those two couldn't do anything with Yomiki standing like a mountain between them. Neither really backing down, Yuni and the woman both looked away and returned to their respective territories.
まったく。
Yomiki sighed as he placed his hand on his hip. Before we knew it, we had lost track of our conversation, and the target of the woman's anger had completely changed. I was certainly glad to have gone down further questioning, but anyway, I was able to at least establish the woman's name. Mayuzumi Lin. Like a cat about to flee after a fight, she opened her mouth to let out a last parting complaint. Her personality was almost the complete opposite of what I imagined it would be based on her mature looks and graceful bearing. The image of her I had in my mind just a few moments earlier had been thoroughly revised. The woman had a rude, harsh, and uninhibited personality. By the way, Mayuzumi's questioning, though it had been brief, had implanted a lingering feeling of uneasiness in the corner of my mind. It's about Yukido Sato. Why was I mistaken for this Yukido person, whom I've never met before and know nothing about? First of all, just who is Yukido Sato? That and the words both Yomigi and Mayuzumi had said bothered
君
me.
はさっきからずっと挙動不審な言動を続けている。
じゃあなんでさっきは有機道なんて言ったのよ。
さっき教えたばかりだろう。
さっきとは随分態度が違うのね。
Before, replaying it all in my head, I finally arrived at an answer. Based on what they had said, only one conclusion could be reached. No, something like that just wasn't possible. I denied my own thoughts immediately. It was something that I couldn't believe, that I didn't want to believe. The conclusion I reached was simply too unreal to accept. That's why I turned away from it. I didn't want to think about it any further. I am me, Fuyukara Kokoro. I'm no one else but me. Struggling to suppress my wild thoughts, I tried to convince myself of this. It was around 10 p.m. A large heap of blankets in hand, Mayuzumi climbed up onto the top bunk. Now there was a woman lying with her back towards us in more ways than one. The kind of person that would stay in bed just to show everyone how much she detested their company. I wasn't sure if she was really sleeping or not. She may have just had her eyes closed. In any case, without so much as a sorry or a good night, this woman shut herself away in her own little world. Naturally, there wasn't anyone who bothered to ask her what she was up to. To tell the truth, I myself was a little relieved that the troublesome one had decided to settle down.
それじゃあ始めようか。
As if predominantly choosing his timing, Yomigi quietly opened his
その
mouth.
前に言っておきたいことがある。どうか気を落とさないでくれ。僕らはまだ望みを失ったわけじゃないんだから。
He carefully chose his words as he continued solemnly.
HAL18 便。それが僕らの乗っていた小型旅客機の正式名称だ。飛行機は乗員乗客31名を乗せ、一路日本列島の最北端稚内を目指していた。順調に飛行を続けていれば午後5時には空港へと到着しているはずだった。しかし
Boom, it crashed. I, who had regained consciousness after being thrown out of the plane, began my search and rescue efforts for survivors. A snowstorm was raging all around. Sunset was drawing near and I could barely see past my nose. Still, I didn't give up. The fact that I was all right meant that there had to be other survivors as well, I thought. It was not a feeling of obligation or a sense of justice which kept me going. I was spurred on by some unexplainable instinct. Before long, I found two women among the scattered rubble, Mayuzumi Lin and you. Having lost consciousness from the shock of the crash, you were laying beneath the caved-in ceiling, your head hanging limp. Even when I shook you by the shoulders and slapped your cheeks, you showed no sign of coming to. Mayuzumi, on the other hand, was conscious. She stood up on her own, mumbling something deliriously, and started aimlessly walking into the downpour of snow on her unsteady feet. The girl had most likely lost at least some of her sanity due to the shock of the crash. Even when I called for her to stop, my voice didn't seem to reach her ears.
どうにか彼女を捕まえた僕は、とにかく風だけでも防げる場所はないかと思い、見つかったのは前後が切断された機体の一部だった。黒く焼けただれた外壁、無様に露出した骨組み。その姿はまるで朽ち果てた怪物の屍のように見えた。僕は舞泉の手を引き、君を背中に担いで屍の中へと逃げ込んだ。
Inside, a foul stench filled the air. I suddenly realized that the smell was that of burning meat. There were chunks of charred flesh stuck firmly to the seats which had been fixed to the floor. Ugh. Dead bodies were still seated with their heads against the back of the seats in front of them. Some of the bodies were missing everything from the seatbelt down. There were bloodstains, scraps of flesh, and entrails splattered against the windows. There was one corpse that seemed comparatively unharmed, but it stayed motionless, frozen solid like a plaster sculpture. The only word that can describe the disaster scene was hell. Having taken it all in, Mayuzumi looked absent-minded and dazed. You were still unconscious, so you didn't react at all. However, a single sigh escaped your lips, which made me believe you would surely get better with time. Your body temperature, however, was nearly that of a corpse. That made sense. You were wearing the same clothes you boarded the plane in. Of course, you weren't the only one with this problem. Mayuzumi was the same. She was wearing a suit and high heels, and her legs were only covered with a thin pair of stockings. Left like that, the two of you would have surely died. With this in mind, I looked through the melted baggage compartments in the ceiling of the plane in hopes of finding something useful amongst the luggage. I grabbed the bags that looked like they might have something helpful inside and pulled them down. I found a down jacket and a fur coat, a wool sweater and a muffler and some gloves. I got together as many clothes like that I could find and dressed you two in them. By the time I'd finished, the sun had disappeared behind the horizon.
月の光も星の光も届かない完全な暗闇。フライトアテンダントの座席のそばから懐中電灯を探り当てた。僕はスイッチを入れた。
There were only two things to be done next. First, I had to make a shelter by closing off the open ends of the shorn airframe. Second, I had to find some means of communication to send out a distress signal. I didn't spare a thought for anything else. There might have been people still alive somewhere in the snowfield. However, the small pieces of wreckage had been scattered over a large area, which would have made further searching nearly impossible. And what about making our way down to the mountain? In this state of affairs, that took precedence over anything else. As a mountaineer, I knew how terrifying and treacherous the snowy mountains could be. To start marching randomly inside, a snowstorm is reckless at best. I didn't have a clue as to where we were. I didn't even know which way it was to the base, so I couldn't even think about descending the mountain. Our options were very limited. We spent all night in the bivouac with nothing else to do but wait for the weather conditions to improve. The heck is a bivouac? Bivouac. The mountain climbing term, meaning to sleep outdoors, to pass the night at a location where there are no cabins or campgrounds. Oh, that's terrible. Especially in the snow. If they got better, a military or a rescue helicopter would have no trouble finding us. Of course, that would be pointless if the three of us lost our lives before they arrived. That's why, to live, that was the highest priority for us.
僕は早速作業に取り掛かった。機体にぽっかりと開いた大きな穴をかき集めた荷物やブランケットで塞いでいく。 日が暮れてしまったことによって辺りの気温はみるみるうちに下がっていき、吐き出した息がたちまち凍りつくような温度。指先の感覚はとうに失っていたが、それでも僕は黙々と作業を続けたのだった。ところが一つ目の穴を半分ばかり埋め終えた頃、僕は舞澄がいない。どこを見渡してみても彼女の姿がなかった。
I rushed outside. Thick snowflakes began to fall and cling to me in layers, as if they had been eagerly waiting for their chance. I bent double to avoid this attack, pulling my hood close over my eyes, and began searching in the darkness. The piled up snow beneath my feet was immeasurably deep, but thanks to that, I could see the trail broken by Mayuzumi's rustling through. Rustle. To push through the deep layers of snow, creating a path while moving forward. A mountain climbing term. Okay. With the torch in hand, I turned to find more traces. I could barely see a thing. In the middle of a snowstorm at night, the light of a pocket flashlight was almost useless, and if I tried calling out at the top of my lungs, the roaring of the wind would effortlessly drown out my voice. I couldn't waste another moment if I wanted to find her, as the traces that she had left behind were quickly being filled with snow. I jumped into the snow. My body began to move without second thought. I pushed on, parting the falling snow before me. Blinded by a myriad of snowflakes, I single-mindedly continued to pursue her trail. After marching on for about 10 minutes, I finally caught a glimpse of her. She had collapsed face down in the middle of the large snowfield. I had no idea why she would do something so foolish. Losing her cool and giving in to panic, she may have thought, it doesn't matter where I go, I just need to get away. Anyway, she made her way down here and probably collapsed from exhaustion. I brought my ear closer to her mouth. I could hear her breathing just barely. I quickly put her on my back and started making my way along the path I'd made coming here.
いくら体重の軽い女性とはいえ、人一人を背負ってのラッセルは想像を超えて過酷だった。腰まで埋まるほどの新雪が僕らの行く手を阻んでいた。一足を踏み出すことさえ至難の技だった。そうしている間にも吹きつける地吹雪は容赦なく体温を奪っている。四肢の感覚は完全に麻痺し、指先は太い針金のように凝固していた。進めども進めども、周囲の景色は一向に変わる気配を見せなかった。どこまで行っても呪われたように酷濁した空間が広がっているだけだった。
Before long, I lost sight of the path. The markers I had left behind had become buried by the snow and were indiscernible. My legs had become completely stuck. I couldn't take a single step further. I knelt down on the snow. I knew that this would happen from the moment I set out. If you walk out into a snowstorm, then it's only natural for you to lose your way. But even then, I never once thought of turning back. Why is that? It might have been that bringing back Mayuzumi was just an excuse when in reality I wanted to meet my end here. No matter where I looked, the desolate, barren plain was dyed the color of death. This world ruled by despair and emptiness was rejecting my life, and the act of breathing was regarded by it as a sin. The sharp pain running through my entire body was a short testament to that. With Mayuzumi still on my back, I collapsed in the middle of the snowfield.
待たせてすまなかったな。これでやっと。
お父さん。
Right then, I thought I heard a voice I heard so often, but now thought I never hear it again. Oh, her dead daughter, probably. I knew it had to be an illusion. Faced with death, my consciousness was breaking down. It felt like it was the voice of a spirit coming to haunt me. However, I couldn't help but try to confirm it. Having gathered the remainder of my strength, I straightened my throat and raised my nearly frozen body to its unsteady feet.
純一なのか？
お父さん、こっち。 こっちだよ。こっちに山小屋があるんだ。見つけたんだよ。
Oh, it's a boy. Interesting. When I snapped out of it, I saw a boy standing in front of me. It was the boy I happened to catch a glimpse of on the
僕に
plane.
ついてきて。
Saying this, the boy started walking. I gave my head a good shake, which somehow brought my strained consciousness back into focus. The boy wasn't my son. That's how I was sure it wasn't just my delusion or some mysterious phantom, but a definite, real entity with a solid shape and form.
何ボケっと突っ立ってんだよ。
I thought that was a girl's voice, but he probably has a dead son. Oh, that's sad.
山小屋はすぐそこなんだ。だから早く。
Wait, how the heck did Uni get over? Because it said that they were paying. Okay, they said they were on a plane crash, right? And they walked some time. Like, they walked and walked, but how the heck is Uni over there? Ugh. Uni's a very mysterious character. I mean, he's already in 2 different places. I'm not sure if it's at the same time, though. But still, it's confusing. Ugh. With the boy in front of me as a guide, I started walking forward, and then they find a cabin.
午後7時16分、墜落から3時間を経て、僕らはようやくこの小屋へとたどり着いた。言うまでもなく、僕らを導いてくれた少年とはユニのことだ。あの時ユニが来てくれなければ、僕と黛は今頃冷たい雪の下で眠っていたことだろう。いわばユニは僕らにとっての命の恩人だった。残念ながら当時意識を失っていた黛にはその実感がないようだけれど、これがここに至るまでの経緯だ。
Wow.
理解してもらえたかな。
With those words, Yomugi tried to finish off his long speech, but
ちょっと待ってください。私はその後どうなったんですか？
oh yeah, that's right. She was left there. Yomugi smiled ever so
もちろん
slightly.
助けに行ったさ。
Oh.
ユニにも手伝ってもらってね。あの輪切りになった機体の中から君をここまで搬送したんだ。正直言って楽な作業ではなかったよ。今は元気そうに見えるかもしれないけれど、あの時の僕はほとんどくたばりかけた状態だったからね。
Wow, but that's so weird. That only those 4 survived, and everybody was just had their guts spilled, burnt, and everything. It's so weird.
でもどうして機体の位置が分かったんですか？ヨモギさん、道に迷っちゃったんでしょ？
ユニが知ってたんだよ。
ユニが？
That's weird. Why does Uni know? I turned toward Uni. Behind Yomugi, Uni was sitting in a spot where Mayuzumi had been camped out until shortly before. As his back is to me, I can't see his face. I didn't know whether or not he'd been listening to our conversation earlier.
なんでユニが墜落機の場所を？
彼はコンパスを持っていたんだ。
Oh, interesting.
コンパスって方位磁石のことですよね。
ああ、墜落の衝撃によって機外へと放り出されたユニはある一定の方角に向かって歩き始めたらしいんだ。あの状況においては適切な判断だったと思うよ。
But he didn't even just go back and check if Kokoro was there?
何しろ周りには風を遮る場所さえなかったんだからね。その場にうずくまっていれば誰かが助けに来てくれるというような状況でもなかったわけだし、だから彼は歩き始めたんだ。と言ってもデタラメな方向に向かって闇雲に進んでいったというわけではない。きちんと目標地点を定め歩数を測りながら彼は吹雪の中を歩いたんだ。そうすればその方角に何もないと分かった時、元の地点に引き返すことができるだろう。大したもんだよ。
Yeah, wow.
でも11歳とは思えない判断力だ。ユニはプロの登山家である僕なんかよりもよっぽど冷静だったってわけさ。
A weird feeling of suspicion perhaps started welling up inside of me. I found myself unable to blindly admire Yuni's efforts. Things like Yuni conveniently having a compass and not losing his cool after the shock of the crash. If you put it all together, you couldn't help but think there was something unusual going on. Yeah, that's super strange.
まあ、とにかくそんなわけで、ユニは偶然この避難小屋を発見するに至ったんだ。ここで重要なのは、彼が自分の歩んできた方角とここにたどり着くまでの歩数をちゃんと覚えていたということだ。だからこそ僕らは
私が取り残されていた墜落機の場所を特定できた。
何か気になることでも？
いえ、別に。
I said that, but in reality, innumerable things were still bothering me. In today's conversation, nobody had mentioned even once how Yuni had managed to find Yomugi and Mayuzumi. Moreover, even if it were possible for Yuni to return to his own starting point, that didn't necessarily mean that I was easy to find against him on the snow. Looking at the probability of all these occurrences, it seemed like even the word miracle would be an understatement to describe all that had happened. It felt like a work of some invisible power, like we might have been led to this cabin inevitably. An invisible power. What could it be? I have no idea.
そうですか。
I don't know, the power of writing? I murmured as I brought this cup closer to my lips. The chamomile tea inside had become cold by now.
そうだ。大事なこと言い忘れてましたね。
Once it hit me, I lowered my head. Wiping my lips and correcting my posture, I
あり
spoke.
がとうございます。
え？
お礼ですよ。助けてくれて本当にありがとう。
やめてくれよ。そういうのは苦手なんだ。それにお礼なら彼に言った方がいいんじゃないかな。
Yomugi stuck his thumb out and pointed it toward Yuni, who was sitting behind him. I stood up and went closer to Yuni. Yuni had curled up into a ball in front of the stove. The way he held his head made it difficult for me to see his face. I squatted down beside him and spoke.
何？
Yuni didn't reply. Leaning down, I slightly shook him by the shoulders. I took a peek of his face. Crouched in place, Yuni was breathing evenly in his sleep.
ユニ、ありがとう。
I said in a soft voice. In reality, I felt like I wanted to hug him from behind and roll around with him on the floor. I was overwhelmed with a feeling of gratitude, one that could not be conveyed by thousands or even tens of thousands of words. That we're alive right now is all thanks to them. Yuni and Yomugi. I gently embraced Yuni's body and laid him down on the bottom bunk. I placed several blankets on top of him, and then a few more for good measure. Yuni tossed a bit in sleep as he mumbled something. I quietly removed his glasses.
さてと。
Holding Yuni's glasses in my hand, I wandered aimlessly around the cabin. The emotions welling up inside me, seeking an outlet, are driving me to walk around in circles. This is a passionate feeling of gratitude, and I need to convey it to someone somehow. But who? Well, of course.
ヨモギさん！
The heck? With an almost indecent cry, I jumped onto Yomugi's back without aiming. Our limbs entangly, we tumbled, rolling around on the floor.
ヨモギさん！ヨモギさん！
おい、こら、どうしたんだ？
Why are you acting like such a child, Kokoro?
やめろ、冬川！やめろ、やめてくれ、やめてくれ。
やめないもんね。
意味がわかんねえんだよ。なんなんだよこれは。なんなんだよ。なんなんだよ。
意味なんかないの。いわゆる感情表現ってやつ。
感情表現？おい、早まるな冬川。僕らはまだそういう関係じゃないだろう。薄くて破れないやつも今は持ち合わせてないし。
そんなのいらないの。ゴロゴロゴロゴロハグハグハグハグ。
My expression of feelings continued for a while afterward. Was Kokoro that darn bored? Guess she was just really, really bored or something. Pitch black. Oh, okay.
落ち着いたか？
Do I stop here? Sure, I'll stop here. Ooh, we learned quite a bit today. How Coco was saved, that there's also another uni. I'm pretty sure that was not a dream, since, you know, it seems like Satoru was indeed in Kokoro's body and acted up how Kokoro was in Satoru's body. So yeah, that's really all we learned today, plus how they were saved and some other stuff that I probably forgot, but yeah, a lot was revealed. I'm really liking this so far. It's good, but there's lots of mystery to it that I can't quite figure it out. Not at all. But anyway, I'm just scratching the surface of this visual novel. Once I'm more into it, I guess I can start theorizing a bit more. Maybe. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Bye.